In a world floating above the clouds, where the rich live clean and the poor drown in trash, a single fall can change everything. Gachiakuta takes that idea and turns it into one of the most visually striking shonen stories in years. Today we're exploring the chaos, the grime, the characters, and the style that make this series so unforgettable, and the cracks that might hold it back. So Gachiakuta follows Rudo, a boy who grows up in the slums of a floating world known as the Sphere. At first, the Sphere looks like a clean, almost utopian paradise where people toss out anything the moment it becomes slightly convenient to do so. But we quickly learn the truth. This society is brutally stratified, and Rudo lives at the very bottom of it. Even among the slum dwellers, he's an outcast, thanks to his biological father, an infamous murderer who was thrown off the Sphere and into the unknown wasteland below. Rudo now lives with his foster father Ragazzo, surviving by stealing the elite's discarded trash and repurposing it. But everything changes when Rudo is framed for Ragazzo's murder and sentenced to the same fate as his father. Before he's dropped into the abyss, he vows revenge on the Sphere and everyone in it. Shockingly, he survives the fall. Down below, he encounters Engine, a giver, someone who can draw power from an object that they hold dear. Rudo eventually joins Engine's group, the Cleaners, whose mission is to eliminate the monstrous beings created from the Sphere's discarded waste. Gachiakuta is a dark fantasy that fuses shonen-style action with punk aesthetics and some surprisingly sharp social commentary. The first thing that grabs you is the series' style. The manga looks distinct. Thick, bold outlines, gritty textures, grungy environments, and wildly expressive character designs give Gachiakuta a visual identity that you don't really see in modern shonen. You can definitely feel the Soul Eater influence. Fitting, since the creator previously assisted on that manga. Even relatively minor characters feel unique. No two designs blend together. It's one of the most visually confident series running right now. Another strong point is the world. A lot of modern battle shonen are set in either modern Japan or stylized historical Japan, so seeing a fully original setting is refreshing. Urana really commits to making the world feel distinct, from the floating, pristine Sphere to the toxic wasteland below. And the early mysteries are genuinely intriguing. Who is the masked figure? Why was Ragazzo killed? Why was Rudo framed? What actually happened to Rudo's father? What's the deal with Rudo's hands? And how exactly did he survive the fall? I doubt we'll get these answers anytime soon, but they're fun threads to follow. Gachiakuta's biggest strength might honestly be its cast. Rudo is an endearing, if somewhat simple shonen protagonist with anger issues. Rio is fascinating, and the moment that she pulled out a Glock is still one of my favorite panels in the entire series. Engine has that cool, enigmatic squad leader kind of vibe. Zanka is just pure fun, and even side characters like Kuro and antagonists like Jabber have real presence. If you start this series for any reason, let it be for the characters and their banter. The power system is fine. It's simple, but it leaves room for creativity, and thankfully it's not another spirit energy but with a new name kind of system. It actually has personality. From what I've seen, the anime is fine, but it struggles with heavy exposition dumps. Instead of letting the world unfold naturally through Rudo's eyes, the show often stops dead so characters can explain things at length. For a visual medium, it leans too hard on telling instead of showing, especially in the first couple of episodes. Now that's not an unusual problem for anime adaptations, but it feels especially clunky here. Plot-wise, I do have some gripes. Right now, the story functions like a Monster Hunter series in the same vein as Jujutsu Kaisen or D. Gray Man, and later it shifts towards a find the MacGuffin kind of structure. The political tension and fragmented societies on the ground are interesting, and there are a lot of moving pieces that can pay off in some really cool ways. But I also kind of feel like the story could be doing more. The contrast between the pristine Sphere and the garbage-choked wasteland creates a powerful dystopian setup. But I worry that the theme of class conflict might just be a hook, rather than something deeply explored. The idea of a world drowning in waste, where trash literally turns into monsters, feels ripe for commentary on consumerism and endless growth, but so far, the narrative hasn't really touched on these ideas. My other concern is tonal dissonance. This world is supposed to be polluted, dangerous, and severely resource-starved. Growing basic vegetables is a struggle. Water is precious, yet the characters often behave like they're living in a standard shonen adventure. They rarely act like they're in a lethal wasteland. We see this early on. Rudo's team gets a call about someone being abducted by an aberrant. A suspicious guy tells them to enter a shady-looking building, and they just walk in. No caution, no survival instinct, A world where people kill for water shouldn't produce people this trusting. And of course, it's a trap. You get a repeat of this with Amo, when the characters are weirdly relaxed in a deadly zone and even take off their gas masks, despite knowing that the air can literally kill them. That's the core issue. Gachiakuta wants to be a traditional shonen, but its world isn't built for that tone. This isn't One Piece's fun adventure islands. This is a toxic wasteland, and sometimes the characters feel like they stepped out of a completely different story. Visually, Gachiakuta is a knockout. The art is gritty, bold, and stylish, something genuinely unique in modern manga. The premise is strong, the world is compelling, and the characters are memorable. But there are moments where the writing stumbles, especially when the tone clashes with the brutal nature of the setting. Still, the journey is fun, and the series has a distinct identity. It's not reinventing the wheel, but it's one hell of a ride. So that's Gachiakuta, a world that's filthy yet beautiful, harsh yet full of heart. A story with massive potential and a style that demands attention. Whether it becomes something great is still up in the air, but it's definitely a ride worth watching. If you enjoyed this breakdown, leave a like, drop a comment, and subscribe for more deep dives. Thanks for sticking around, and I'll see you guys next time.